Hey everybody, this is Kenny C here from Chilling with Jeffrey Kenny C. And I'm bringing you my first new exclusive interview since the 5-year anniversary show. And my guest at this time is a adult film starlet and a fetish model. I'm joined with Leena Sky. She's joining me right now. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing real good, and thank you so much for doing this interview.
My pleasure, my pleasure.
Let's go ahead and get started. Talk a little bit about yourself and what made you decide to be a not only a fetish model but an adult film starlet.
Well, basically, I made a significant life change. It's hard to explain, but I had a certain life course. I was doing the very kind of vanilla, straight and narrow path. I got very educated, worked my ass off, and then became very unhappy and felt very constrained and like I wasn't enjoying my life. And so I stopped teaching. I was a teacher, and I sort of had this fall in my lap. I just went with it. For the first time in my life, I just took a real risk and said, you know what? I enjoy sex. I don't mind being out there. I want to try. I started with webcamming, and then I started with porn. And then once I realized that the standard mainstream porn, the jobs don't come as frequently as fetish porn and fetish jobs. So I really embraced fetish work, and it's real fun. And that's how I stay busy. I'll do the mainstream whenever it comes around, but fetish work is very consistent. So that's how I started. I don't know where I'll be this time next year or the next year. Just take it one day at a time.
And one more question about the teacher thing. What subject did you teach?
I was a college professor and specialized in psychology. I, however, did not have a job at a university with a psychology department, so I got real frustrated with that. I love teaching, and I think if you're a good teacher, you can teach most anything, and I was, but my true passion was psychology, and I was teaching students that could give a crap about psychology. In fact, they were pretty pissed they had to take the period. So I spent most of my days trying to convince people of how awesome psychology was, and it got really boring for me. Like, I wanted to work with students that just loved it as much as I did, and I came to the conclusion that that was really a false expectation to have, or a bad expectation to have. Like, you can't force people to love what you love. And I think I went into teaching thinking that everybody was going to love education and love learning as much as I did. And in fact, a lot of students education, they're just kind of doing it because they have to. So I'm real grateful for the experience of teaching, but I'm definitely, if I go back to a mainstream, like, normal job, probably won't be teaching.
I can understand, I being a student and teachers do what they can to make people convince them that this subject is good. It's going to help you in the classroom and outside the classroom. And I guess psychology is just something you really have to be into.
Right, you're so right.
And psychology, especially on a collegiate level.
Right. Oh, yeah. And it intimidates people. Some people just find it weird. A lot of people are threatened by the idea of looking within themselves. And I worked at a technical college. And these kids and these students just wanted to get their associates or their bachelor's and get out and do hands-on jobs, which is commendable. They don't want to sit around and think, philosophy and psychology and look within themselves. They thought I was crazy half the time.
So you made that transition from teaching. Now you not only a fetish model, but you're an adult film model. Talk about your fetishes.
Oh, my God. You know what? The best part about this is I was always thought I was a pretty sexual person. I don't think I was truly the sexual person I am today until I started doing the fetish work, because what I've realized, and there's a psychology behind it too, that almost any part of the body or any action can be sexualized. And so I have done a lot of work with feet. I've modeled my feet, sucked toes, had my feet licked, done foot jobs. I've had people request me to do videos about my eyes, my nose, my butt. There's a fetish for almost anything, and if you embrace it and kind of keep your mind open, then it's real fun. Because that's what I got over the weirdness right away. And I was like, listen, I mean, to each his or her own. And just getting into the role of, okay, today I have to, I've been doing 3 hours of somebody licking my feet and worshiping my feet. And if you let yourself kind of get past the idea that this is different or weird, you can actually get into it. And I think some of it's cultural. Like, I grew up in a culture where, family where, I didn't learn about, anything other than standard sex. So, of course, it was a little odd at first, but now I just love it. I love when someone's like, yep, I want to lick your feet. I'm like, okay. So feet, ass worship, and my favorite is being a very dominant female. Like, I just got a shoot booked for Wednesday for my favorite site, Club Dom. So I get to, really kind of beat up on guys and put them in their place and maybe even use a strap-on. And I know some people think that's really weird, but I love it. It's very empowering as a woman.
That form has definitely come a long way as far as it's normally it's men doing the quote-unquote dominating, and now female are doing the dominating. So I guess whatever floats your boat, or people like one or the other, or maybe both.
Right. Yeah, exactly. A lot of people, if you like standard boy-girl porn, you probably don't want to look as much into my fetish stuff. But a lot of people that like the fetish do not like the standard, boy-girl stuff. So I'm open to the fact that everybody has a different taste, like you said, and it's like, I'm cool if you like one thing I do and not the other. I can't expect one size doesn't always fit all,
Well said. So you considering that you do custom requests and stuff, and this is a question I ask a lot of fetish models and adult film models. What is the weirdest request you've ever gotten from a fan that wants you to do a request?
I think that most recently it was a little odd, and I'm not going to judge in the sense that, hey, I got paid to do it, but I made a video of me being cross-eyed for 10 minutes, literally talking to him on the video and kind of being sexy. But it was really hard because, I can cross my eyes for like 10 minutes and then trying to make that seem hot. And the same night, I actually filmed another guy's request to play with my nose and move it around and make noises with it. It was just like, the hardest part was trying to be sexy because I've never thought that those were really sexy things to do for me, like cross-eyed and playing with my nose.
Wow.
Those were some of the weirdest things I've done recently. I no longer think it's weird for somebody to ask me to fuck them in the ass. Like, I think that that's kind of the character I've taken on and what I like. So I don't think that's weird. But anything that I haven't done, that's a request that I haven't yet really taken a chance to understand, like the whole cross-eyed thing. I'm like, at first I think sometimes it's like a joke. I'm like, really? Somebody finds that hot? And I'm like, okay, well, I don't understand it, but I'm doing it. And I'm going to do it the best way I can so that you can get off the job.
All I know is when it comes to the custom requests, I think the main thing that for the person to do as far as sending in requests is for the person to be sexy.
Right.
Turn on, talk in a sexy voice or whatever the case may be. I don't know how you ladies pull it off as far as the weird stuff, but hey, ask and you shall receive, what people like to say.
Exactly. Like, I'm open. Like, you, pretty much my hard limit is I don't poop on camera. I've been asked to do a lot of stuff with poop, and that's probably one of my only hard limits. That and like bestiality. Like, I don't want to have anything to do with animals. But that's it, pretty much. I'm open. Like, I'll do everything else. And a lot of people are like, what are your limits? I'm like, I am very open-minded and limitless. And I think that that's something that makes me stand out. Like, I will try anything once, as long as it's not going to hurt me or, really hurt somebody else too much. I mean, some of the femdom roles, they want you to get into it. I've been beat up on roles. I know it's hurting the guys a little bit, or more than a little bit when I beat up on them, but so long as everybody consent, this is the job we're doing. This is the scene we're doing. It's acting. We really like each other. I'm down with it,
So, do you have anything else you want to promote? Anything in the works? Upcoming shoots, videos that you're working on?
Now the biggest thing I would love people to check out would be my Clips for Sale store, or official Leena Sky Fetish store. I'm trying to get my Leena Sky. I own that domain as well as Leena Sky. Getting a full site together has been really challenging because I don't have the right team right now. But right now I'm trying to point my domain to my Clips for Sale store. I'm just updating that with little things, and it's not a huge moneymaker, but it's fun, and there's a lot of me out there. But if you want to see me doing my own stuff, like, that's a pretty cool thing to see. As well as I work out of a dungeon in Pompano Beach, Florida, called Command Performance. That can be checked out at commandperformance.net. I'm listed as a staff member. You can come in and do a live session and pretty much make any request. I mean, it's not like a sex thing, but it's fetish. So if you want to worship my ass, or if you want me to do role playing with you, or a bunch of other fetish stuff, that's a chance to come see me, and I love doing that. As for other things, I was supposed to get out of California. I had to postpone the trip because of the syphilis outbreak there, but I'll be hoping to get out there in October, maybe November, and in the meantime, I'll just be out in South Florida and Tampa doing fetish work. So now I just hope everybody kind of learns a little bit about me and is into the fact that I'm really into this. So that's pretty much it.
And you also do cam shows as well. Talk a little bit about that, and what can people expect?
I really love doing cam shows on Streamate. The problem I'm having is that I have a really hard time doing a consistent schedule, and I know that they want you to, and I know that that's my biggest downfall. I may have people tune in one day, and then I might not be on for another week, and so that's something I want to apologize to people for, my lack of consistency. I do love being on cam. I just have a harder time because if I get a chance to shoot over a cam show, I'll take it because I feel like I'm better in that role, and I love actual shoot. So that's my deal. I'll be on cam as soon as I can, often, but I know it's not as consistent as some people might want. I apologize for that.
Speaking of being on cam, I have a confession to make. Last week, you did a cam show, and I was not in the chat room, but I did see you, and you look beautiful. You look sexy.
That's so awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that. I feel pretty self-conscious. To be quite honest, I feel self-conscious on the cam because, you're kind of seeing yourself out of the corner of your eye the whole time. And part of me likes that, and a part of me that doesn't, because I'm like, oh, God, it's like, extreme close-up of yourself. But thank you. I think that's part of my issue, too, with getting on cam. Like, I want to look really good, and just popping out of bed, like, I'm a very natural-looking person. But now that I've been doing so much shooting, it's kind of in this mentality of I have to be ready, camera ready, and that can get exhausting. It's like, oh, I don't feel like putting makeup on. I won't go on cam. But so I like to really be in good form and make people know I want to look good for people. So if I'm not on camera, that may be I'm just not feeling it. I really never like to do things half-hearted. Like to do it 110%. But thank you for saying that. It makes me so happy.
Well, anything that makes you happy is definitely worth it.
You have a sexy voice, by the way.
Wow. Now I'm blushing. That's the first. I just have that laid back, mellow voice, and I guess whatever makes people happy, I'll go with it. You're the first person to say that.
It sounds sexy. I didn't know what you sound like. I like it a lot.
Wow, girl, you're gonna make me go Barry White up in here.
Oh, my God. Well, thanks for having me on. It's been fun talking to you.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, and I got a few more questions for you.
Oh, sure. My pleasure.
So, what's your favorite way of having an orgasm?
I'll be very honest. There's actually only a couple ways I can. I just did some last night, some Hitachi work, because I was like, I haven't gotten laid in a little bit. I've been doing so much fetish stuff. Like the Hitachi magic wand. That's awesome. Like, you just effortless to have an orgasm that way. And in actual sex, like it's missionary, it's or on top. Like I need real hard clitoral stimulation, which not all girls need. So it's a blessing and a curse. I know how to come, but sometimes in porn, you're not always doing those positions. So it's like, it may be more of the guy coming before me.
And name some of the models you've had the chance to work with. I know you work with a lot, but just name a couple that you like working with the most.
Wow. Fetish models, I've worked with Angie Noir and Carrie Riley and Amber Limbach and who else? Tara Starr I'm going to work with. I love working with Jim Leche is a great cameraman and producer. He always gives me some good people to work for, like for Subby Hubby and Club Dom. My favorite male performer that I've worked with is Levi Cash. I've also worked with Juan Largo, who is great, Rich Tannen. I've actually found I like working with the women a lot better than the men. I mean, I hate to say that, but with women, I don't know what it is. With men, there's a lot of pressure to perform. A lot of guys get kind of camera shy, and there's kind of issues, and they have to always stop and start. So it can be really hard to get a good flow going. So I've kind of gotten spoiled by somebody like Levi Cash, who just performs so well and so much, it's effortless. And he makes it look so easy. And the reality is, for guys, it can be quite challenging to, get started, and then the director's like, stop, cut. Then the guys has to get all worked up again. And so, quite honestly, working with women can be a lot easier because we don't have to worry about keeping our dicks hard. So,
So obviously, it's more intriguing for you to work with women than the men.
I love men, but women in many ways. And also women, I still feel like there's so much for me to learn with women. Like men, I know how, in my opinion, to pretty much fuck a guy. But with women, I feel like the vagina is an enigma. And, like, I can barely operate mine sometimes. Like, making myself come, I wish I could figure out how to do it a bunch of different ways. Like, I just learned how to squirt for the first time when I was starting to do this film stuff. So I'm more motivated to, like, figure out the vagina and like, going down on a girl. Like, every girl's vagina is so differently, and trying to figure out what's the best way to make that happen. So I think that there's more of that challenge that's still there with women. So that keeps me thinking about women more these days.
And why don't you go ahead and promote your links, your clips for sale, Twitter, any other links that people need to know?
Well, hopefully if you go to LeenaSky.com today or tomorrow, it'll start hooking right up to my clips for sale site, because that's a long URL. Otherwise, if you want to see everything I've done on clips for sale, which is so much fetish stuff, you literally put in my name in clips for sale, Leena Sky. My store will come up as well as my other stuff. I love the sites I've done, work for Club Dom, Subby Hubby, Naughty America, Reality Kings. I've got some interracial stuff, hopefully eventually coming out. They've held that for a while. I'm on Twitter, Leena Sky 1. I'm on Facebook, but Facebook is pissing me off these days with blocking my content and stuff. So Twitter, holler at me, follow me. I'll follow you if you want. And come see me at Command Performance in Pompano if you want that live session. Streamates where I can if I ever get my ass on. And I'm doing some feature dancing, so stay tuned for that too. I just did my first feature show at the Emperor's Club in West Palm. So I just like to do a wide variety of things. And if you follow me on the social network site, you'll never miss me because I post a lot.
And before I let you go, Leena, I ask all guests to do this. It's like a station ID. It's like a voice drop. All you have to do is say your name. And right after you say your name, you say you are chilling with Jeff and Kenny C.
Hey, this is Leena Sky, and I'm chilling with Jeff and Kenny C.
That is awesome. Thank you so much for your time, Leena.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much for your time. Everybody follow her on Twitter at Leena Sky 1, as in the number 1. Be on the lookout for her clips for sale site. It'll be under www.leenasky.com. That's LEENASKY. Check out her videos. Get turned on. Get sexy. And I guess jerk off or whatever.
Yeah, you better. I mean, that's the biggest compliment anyone could give me. Send me a note saying I just had the best. I just jerked off to you. It was great. If I weren't wanting that, what would I be doing here? I'm not just trying to look pretty. I'm trying to get you guys off. So, thanks so much for your time. I hope to speak to you soon.
I think I was turned on these last 20 minutes alone. But
Sweet. I tried, and I did my job. I'm a little worked up too. I'm about to step in the gym and get rock hard. I'm training for some a she muscle site, which is not as known for everybody. But I'm not trying to look like Hulk Hogan, but I think muscles are sexy, so I'm trying to get a little harder. Everybody to see.
Hey, you do what you gotta do. Whatever you're doing, you keep doing it because you look great.
Thanks, baby cakes. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, and that will conclude the interview. Thank you, everyone, for listening.